Ever wondered why the understanding of opioid analgesics and antagonists is so crucial, particularly in the field of medicine? Let's take a moment to delve into this intriguing topic. We're talking about substances that play an integral role in the management of pain. Opioids. Opioids have been a cornerstone of pain management for centuries, offering relief to patients suffering from acute and chronic pain. But they are also wrapped in a shroud of controversy due to their potential for abuse and addiction. Think of opioid analgesics as the good guys, the pain relievers. They come in many forms, with morphine being one of the most well-known. Morphine, a natural opioid, has been used since the early 19th century for its potent analgesic effects. It works by binding to opioid receptors in the nervous system, reducing the perception of pain. But like all heroes, they have their dark side, and that's where opioid antagonists come into play. These are the substances that block the effects of opioid analgesics. They are used to treat opioid overdoses and are essential in the field of addiction treatment. Understanding the pharmacology of these substances is a crucial part of modern medicine. It's not just about knowing what they are, but how they work, how they interact with our bodies and our brains, how they can relieve pain, but also how they can lead to addiction. The complexity of these substances presents an ongoing challenge for medical professionals as they strive to balance their benefits with their potential harm. The world of opioid analgesics and antagonists is a fascinating one, filled with complexities and contradictions. For those in medicine, it's a world that demands constant learning, constant questioning, and constant vigilance. It's a world that can offer relief to those in pain, but can also lead to devastating consequences if misused. So let's journey into the intriguing world of opioid analgesics and antagonists. Let's unravel the enigma that is opioids together. In the realm of opioids, two key players dominate: the analgesics and the antagonist. Let's delve into their roles, effects, and the delicate balance between their therapeutic uses and potential risks. Opioid analgesics, such as morphine, are medicines used primarily to relieve pain. They work by binding to opioid receptors in the brain and spinal cord, blocking the transmission of pain signals to the brain. This not only reduces the sensation of pain, but also affects emotional responses to pain. Powerful and effective, opioid analgesics have been a cornerstone in pain management for centuries. However, their use is not without potential pitfalls. Long-term use of opioid analgesics can lead to physical dependence and addiction. This is because, over time, the body can become used to the presence of the drug, requiring more of it to achieve the same level of pain relief, a phenomenon known as tolerance. Furthermore, when the drug is suddenly stopped, withdrawal symptoms can occur, a clear sign of physical dependence. On the other side of the coin, we have opioid antagonists. These substances bind to the same opioid receptors in the brain as analgesics, but instead of activating them, they block them. This means they can prevent or reverse the effects of opioid analgesics. Naloxone is one such antagonist and is used as a life-saving antidote in opioid overdose situations. However, antagonists too have their challenges. They can precipitate withdrawal symptoms in individuals who are physically dependent on opioids. Therefore, their use needs to be carefully managed, particularly in patients with a history of long-term opioid use. So, you see, in the world of opioids, analgesics and antagonists are like two sides of a coin. One provides relief from severe pain, while the other safeguards against the potential dangers of opioid use. Their roles are crucial yet contrasting, and understanding this dynamic is key to managing pain effectively and safely. It's clear then that these two sides of the opioid coin play crucial yet contrasting roles. Among opioid analgesics, one name stands out: morphine. This potent painkiller has a long history, dating back to its discovery in the early 19th century, and it continues to be a cornerstone in the management of severe pain today. Let's dive into the pharmacology of morphine, shall we? Morphine primarily works by binding to mu-opioid receptors in the central nervous system. This binding action inhibits the transmission of pain signals along the nerve pathways, effectively reducing the perception of pain. It's a bit like turning down the volume on your pain signals, allowing for some much-needed relief. But that's not all. Morphine also triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with feelings of pleasure and reward. This is why, in addition to its pain-relieving properties, morphine can induce a sense of euphoria. This dual action, though beneficial in a clinical setting, is also what makes morphine, and opioids in general, highly addictive. Therapeutically, morphine is used to manage severe acute and chronic pain, often in post-surgical settings or in patients with advanced cancer. It's also used in palliative care to improve the quality of life in those with serious, life-threatening illnesses. However, morphine does come with its share of side effects. Common ones include constipation, nausea, and sedation. More serious side effects can include respiratory depression and, in some cases, even death. The risks associated with morphine use also extend beyond its side effects. Dependence and addiction are serious concerns. Long-term use can lead to tolerance, where increasing doses are needed to achieve the same pain-relieving effect. This can lead to a vicious cycle of escalating use and dependence, making morphine a drug that demands respect and caution. Morphine, a hero in pain management, can quickly turn villainous when misused. It's a potent tool in our arsenal against pain, but like any powerful tool, it needs to be handled with care. The fine line between relief and risk is one that healthcare professionals navigate with every prescription, striving to bring comfort to those in need without inviting harm. On the other side, we have the opioid antagonist, the checks and balances in the opioid world. Now imagine this. The opioids, like morphine, are the partygoers in the world of pharmacology. They're having a grand old time, but sometimes the party gets out of hand. That's where opioid antagonists step in. They're the responsible friends who make sure everyone gets home safely. Opioid antagonists work by binding to the same receptors as opioid analgesics, but instead of activating them, they block them. They're like a key that fits into a lock but doesn't turn. This prevents the opioids from having their usual effects. These antagonists have a crucial role in treating opioid overdose, a serious and often fatal condition. When someone takes too much of an opioid, the drug can slow breathing to dangerously low levels. This is where an antagonist like naloxone comes into play. By blocking the opioid receptors, naloxone can rapidly reverse the effects of the overdose and save a life. But the role of opioid antagonists extends beyond emergency medicine. They also play a vital part in treating opioid dependence. Drugs like naltrexone can help people recovering from opioid addiction by reducing the desire to use opioids. They can even block the effects of opioids if someone relapses and uses again. It's important to remember, however, that while these drugs can be life-saving, they're not a cure-all. They're part of a comprehensive approach to treating opioid overdose and addiction that also includes supportive care and behavioral therapy. In the world of opioids, antagonists are the unsung heroes. They don't provide the pain relief or the high that opioids do, but they do something equally important. They keep the balance. They prevent the dangerous effects of opioids while allowing us to harness their beneficial properties. Opioid antagonists then serve as a lifeline when the opioid scales tip towards danger. So, what's the key takeaway from our journey into the world of opioids? Our exploration has taken us from the mysterious origins of opioids to their practical applications in modern medicine. We've learned that opioid analgesics, like morphine, are powerful tools in pain management. They work by interacting with opioid receptors in the brain, blocking the transmission of pain signals to provide relief. However, we must not forget about their counterparts, the opioid antagonists. These substances, rather than activating opioid receptors, block them. They have the power to reverse the effects of opioids and can be life-saving in cases of overdose. It's essential to recognize the vital role these substances play in medicine. They enable us to perform surgeries, manage chronic pain, and provide palliative care. Without them, our ability to alleviate human suffering would be significantly diminished. Yet we must also acknowledge the potential for misuse and the severe consequences that can follow. Opioids can lead to physical dependence and addiction, causing a cycle of misuse that can be challenging to break. The rise in opioid-related deaths is a stark reminder of the devastating impact that misuse can have. Moreover, the importance of opioid antagonists in reversing the effects of opioids can't be overstated. They are our safeguard against the potential risks of opioid use, providing a safety net that can save lives. So, while we marvel at the power and potential of opioids, we must also respect their potency and the need for careful, responsible use. Education and understanding are our best defenses against misuse. Remember, these are not just substances. They are tools in the hands of medical professionals, tools that can bring relief or cause harm, depending on how they're used. Opioids, like a double-edged sword, can relieve or cause pain. It's our understanding and responsible use that determines which edge we face. Subscribe for more, because you won't find me later.